As if being a triple major isn't adventurous enough, Texas Tech senior Elizabeth Hash likes to push herself to the limit. One limit she went to and ultimately overcame was deciding to go on a massive hike on the Pacific Coast with her friend Hannah.
All started with an honors class. My Environment and the Humanities degree requires us to do either a summer session or a semester's worth of either an internship or some kind of huge outdoor undertaking. So we started looking into it and we got this crazy idea to do a 7-week backpacking trip of 400 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail through the section that is known to be the hardest section of the Pacific Crest Trail, just due to the insane elevation change that happens there. For some reason, we were just really called to this opportunity to be in complete isolation for that long of a period of time, and to really get to reflect on our own lives, on who we were, and then also challenge ourselves in that process.
Elizabeth and Hannah started their trek on July 1st, 2015 from Truckee, California.
We kind of winged it, I'm not gonna lie. We planned it in about 1 month before and then just went for it. First 10 days were really interesting because we weren't used to the elevation change coming from Lubbock, which was our training site. So a little bit difficult, to practice being in the mountains when you live in West Texas.
Just 9 days into their excursion, Hannah found out she had a staph infection and made the tough decision to return home.
And it was completely silent, and she looked at me for a second and then said, "I think I have to stay." And then I said, "I know." And then I said, I think I have to keep going. And she said, "You do." Ultimately, leaving the trail wasn't an option for me. It was never really going to be an option because something would have been missing in my experience if I had chosen to do that out of fear. And I didn't want my fear or my own insecurities to be the reason that I didn't go on this amazing trip and finish.
Soon after hitting the trail solo, Elizabeth had a new but unwelcome friend show up at camp.
And I did actually wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of a bear trying to get my food. So I took my spoon and my bowl and I banged on it and yelled at him until he left. So that was terrifying. That was the closest I'd been to a bear the whole trip.
And on the last leg of the trail, she broke her hand.
Slipping on a wet rock and my trekking pole got stuck. And I landed on top of my hand with the weight of my backpack and my own weight and just crunched my hand and ended up breaking it in 3 different places. I really think I call this trail karma is what it was because the trail was teaching me a lesson because I was getting too confident. I ended up finishing the final 70 miles, which ended with the summit of Mount Whitney, with my hand in this giant temporary sling that I could carry it, and it kind of looked like the end of a giant Q-tip arm because it was just like wrapped. At that point, something like a broken hand wasn't a big deal to me anymore. I had surpassed that fear, that kind of fear.
As part of the assignment for her Environment and the Humanities degree, she had to write about her experiences along the way.
I would stop whenever I felt moved by something to write something, and that was a wonderful place to be because I felt like my writing got a lot stronger in that, and that was why I was out there to do, was to log that and reflect that. You don't get out there and see those kinds of remote and beautiful areas. It's just not something you do every day, so it's absolutely life-changing. Each essay represents one stage of that change, and it shows in a subtle way how I as a person changed throughout my trip. Change is not made because you alter a pattern in your life. Change is made when you choose to keep making it even after you have failed.